Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me here today. Sanjit Gandhi, distinguished guests, dear friends, and I would say, I dare to say, lovers of Indian culture, but also supporters of the Indian woman. It's of course a true pleasure to be here today. It's always a pleasure to be invited to events like this. And I think I represent something as a Swedish sister and colleague. So we are here today not only to celebrate the International Women's Day, but also, of course, to open this wonderful exhibition, and I'm really looking forward to hear a little more about it. You have already opened my eyes so far. I would like to start just by saying that the bilateral relations between India and Sweden are, of course, extensive, and they have been so since the independence in 1947 and the diplomatic relations that were opened in 1948. So it is really true to say that our friendship goes very far back, and this was also strengthened even further when the president visited Sweden in May 2015 on the invitation of the Swedish king. So that is on the official level, but of course there are so many levels of interaction between our countries. Business is one, environmental research is one, and there are many, many areas. I'm not going into that because business I will leave apart, but I think what we are seeing here is also part of strengthening the business relations between our two countries. Thanks to globalization, the distance between India and Sweden has probably never been shorter. Swedes are visiting India as tourists on an ever higher number. Indians are coming to Sweden also in higher and higher numbers. But globalization brings countries together. It facilitates political, economic, and commercial collaborations. But above all, it brings people together. It brings people closer together. And many times, it is in the different expressions of culture. Music, dancing, arts, that functions as the bridge between people and between countries. It surpasses the borders, it connects us in different ways, and most importantly, I think it creates long-lasting relations. And if there is anything this world needs today, it's relations. It's the need for people-to-people contacts. It's the need for dialogue, because understanding each other, even through art, brings trust, the possibilities for trust. And this is what we need even more than ever. And this is also where the cultural events plays an important role. It facilitates the dialogue, as I said, and engages and touches. And I was amazed, if I may really say, that one person came up and said, you know, I've never been to India, but I realize I have to go. But this person already had a very strong feeling for India and an understanding for India. And I think this is how we actually come together. is maybe not only the magnet that brings people together, it's also the glue that keeps people staying together. Building long-lasting relations, building understanding for different cultures, building trust is part of my organization's vision and mission. And this is the work that we have been doing since the 1940s. We do it through cultural exchange. We do it through scholarships for young students, and we have so many young Indian students in Sweden today. We do it through leadership programs for young coming leaders, for young women, and we do it, everything we do is with the purpose of strengthening the relations and building trust. So I do hope that we will be able to continue this work together. I am absolutely convinced that this is just one piece, one wonderful piece of all the elements that we could have to strengthen, further strengthen our already very, very prosperous relations. And I hope that we will see more of activities also that will lift the woman and the situation of the woman in today and in the future. So with that, thank you so much for inviting me here today.